Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act, and the Supreme Court decided to lift temporary orders that had stopped deportations. The case, Trump v. J.G.G., rules on the jurisdiction district. This ruling means that if someone wants to challenge their removal under this law, they must do so in the district where they are being held, which in this case is Texas. Nine Robes uses non-partisan, everyday language to focus on the facts of what the Supreme Court is saying. Here, you'll find clear, concise summaries of every Supreme Court opinion, stripped of legalese and clickbait headlines. Each post breaks down the facts, explains the court's reasoning, and highlights the crucial details that often go unnoticed. It's not just about what the court decided. It's about why those decisions matter, to give you a deeper understanding of the cases that define our nation's legal landscape. These summaries are generated by AI. Be careful and consult reputable sources when in doubt. The decision was made by a group of justices, including Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh. They all agreed on this point, while Justices Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson voiced their disagreement, joined by Justices Elena Kagan and Amy Coney Barrett. This case highlights the nuances of how legal challenges are handled, especially when it comes to immigration and detention. It emphasizes the importance of where and how these challenges can be made, shaping the landscape of legal rights for those affected. The case of Trump v. J.G.G. arose from the detention and removal of Venezuelan nationals believed to be affiliated with Tren de Aragua, a group designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. State Department. President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act, AEA, to detain and remove these individuals. In response, 5 detainees and a putative class sought injunctive and declaratory relief against their removal, arguing that they were not removable under the AEA. The district court issued temporary restraining orders, TROs, to prevent their removal, which the government sought to vacate, leading to the Supreme Court's involvement. The Supreme Court, in a per curiam opinion, vacated the district court's TROs, asserting that challenges to removal under the AEA must be brought through habeas corpus proceedings. The court emphasized that the detainees' claims implied the invalidity of their confinement, thus falling within the core of habeas corpus. The court ruled that venue for such claims lies in the District of Confinement, which in this case is Texas, not the District of Columbia. The court acknowledged that while judicial review is limited under the AEA, detainees are entitled to notice and an opportunity to challenge their removal. The court's decision was framed as a means to avoid unnecessary delays in the legal process. Justice Kavanaugh concurred with the court's opinion, emphasizing that the use of habeas corpus for transfer claims is consistent with historical precedent. He noted that the court's disagreement with the dissenters was not about the availability of judicial review, but rather about the appropriate venue for such review. Justice Sotomayor, joined by Justices Kagan and Jackson, dissented, arguing that the court's decision undermined due process protections for the detainees. She criticized the majority for intervening hastily and for failing to consider the potential harm to individuals being deported without adequate legal recourse. Justice Jackson also dissented, expressing concern over the court's rushed decision-making process and the implications of using a wartime statute in a peacetime context. The case highlights the complexities surrounding the Alien Enemies Act, a law originally enacted in 1798 for wartime scenarios. The majority opinion underscored that the AEA precludes judicial review in many instances, yet it also allows for judicial scrutiny regarding the interpretation and constitutionality of the act. The court's ruling that habeas corpus is the appropriate vehicle for challenging removal under the AEA reflects a nuanced understanding of the interplay between statutory interpretation and constitutional rights. The dissenters raised critical concerns about the implications of applying a wartime statute in a peacetime context, emphasizing the need for careful judicial oversight to protect individual rights against potential government overreach. Find us online at 9robes.ai. That's the number, 9robes.ai. Like and share this podcast with friends that like to be informed. 9 Robes provides AI summaries of U.S. Supreme Court cases. AI makes mistakes. People make mistakes too. We genuinely do our best to provide you with the most accurate summaries, but our best sometimes includes errors.